You are watching Insight with Praveen Puram live from Atlanta. As you all know, this is an exclusive show which brings about NRI community, their achievements, leadership, and any support which NRI requires. In those grounds, today we have an esteemed guest, Mr. Sreeni Pillamarri. Not only being migrated from India to Australia on a work base, but being into politics is all total different. So our esteemed guest is a councillor for Hornsby Shire Council from Australia. So we will get to know more about what is this councillor position and how did he manage to, balance between his job and the political system. So welcome to Sreeni. Thank you so much for your time today on our show.
Thanks, Praveen. Thanks for the invite, and hello to all the viewers back in US, India, and obviously I think Australia is also picking up on this particular thing. Thank you for everyone who is watching there.
Thank you, Sreeni. Let me introduce Sreeni in detail. Sreeni Pillamarri, by profession, is an IT entrepreneur. He runs his digital technology and business software business across Australia and New Zealand, active community volunteer for Australia over 2 decades. Sreeni is committed to strong, cohesive, diverse, and multicultural Australia. He has been a volunteer, president, secretary, treasurer, and on various community organizations like Hornsby's SES, Hornsby Chamber of Commerce, Alive 90.5 FM, Australia Community Inspired Association, and many more community. Well, he also been part of Rotary Club and many other organizations. Sreeni graduated with Bachelor of Engineering in Computer Science, Master of Information System from Central Queensland University. Sreeni serves as a sponsorship director of West Pennant Hills Cherrybrook Cricket Club and treasurer, director of DSPANZ, Digital Service Provider Australian New Zealand, formerly known as ABSIA, Australian Business Software Industry Association. He is appointed as a diverse community network member of ATO, Australian Taxation Office. He is married with 2 kids and live locally in Cherrybrook, NSW. Wow. What a history, Sreeni. So tell us more, being an Indian, moving to Australia, after 2 decades, and how did your journey begin to become as a councillor? Please let us know more about your journey.
Yeah, more than councillor, firstly, I would definitely like to talk about my early days of schooling, which I've done in Hyderabad. I'm a Hyderabad born and brought up kid. Right. My parents migrated, my brother actually migrated to Australia in 91. He was the start of this journey to Australia. We were there back in India itself. I'm from Shivishwani Public School. I studied there in Shivishwani Public School, which is in Devaremzal. That's where my journey of understanding how the leadership is and what's required to be a leader. I think those are the roots what I've got my foundation strong there. From there on, I've done my +1 and +2, then engineering in computer engineering, computer science, and then moved to Australia for my master's in 98 because most of my family was here. So it was a natural transition for me to move to Australia, then go to US because most of my friends left to US at that time. And I was the one or two guys who were there keen to move towards Australia because of family being, our family was residing in Sydney. So I've moved to Sydney, which is most of the population was there apart from Melbourne. Melbourne was mostly thickly populated by Indian migrants back those days, but now it's pretty much equal everywhere. So Sydney was my choice because of the family being there. I've come here for the masters. Did masters. While doing masters, I got an opportunity to be selected in a campus interview for one of the company called Unisys. It's a US-based company. I got selected as a quality assurance person to work with them, which was a good journey to start with because I understood how the system works. By that time itself, I understand the system, how it works. In between this, when I was there in India, I was pretty active with a lot of local politics, either it's be Congress or because I've got friends on both Congress and TDP side. Back in Hyderabad, because after 83 it was TDP which has ruled for a period of time. So I've got friends on both ends of the place. So very active with them, and learn to be like, I used to go around with them campaigning and seeing things. And one of my classmates, dad was the finance minister at TDP. His name is, the uncle's name was M. Rajaya. He passed away recently, but his story was inspiring to me because he was a high court lawyer, and he was a judge as well at that time. And I used to hang around because we were 4 or 5 friends. My friend's name is Ravi, and we all used to hang around there. So that's when I used to see him, how he used to talk to people and understand. That helped me a bit. Like, while you're learning leadership things, you see this sort of personalities and feel, oh wow, it's good that we can also do it. Though you have someone in your family who was at a mayor level, at a corporate level and everything. But when you see somebody at a finance minister level, you'll know how the leadership is, what sort of decision making happens. Though it was a glimpse of it for me, but still that stuck in my mind for a long time.
Glad to hear. Glad to hear.
Thank you.
I feel that, now I understood you already have a vision of, being into politics, and, especially the surroundings where you grow, that impacts a lot. So
100%.
Exactly. So Sreeni, first of all, congratulations for being a councillor. Did you ever thought of being into politics before coming to Australia, or it happened just like that?
No, I had that back of my mind that I should give back to the community. If I was in India, even I would have done the same thing. And being in Australia also, that zeal did not lost in my personality. It was always there. So when I came to Australia in '98, I was looking at quite a few activities of which government, what are their policies, because having this background in India to see the 2 parties at a state level and at a central level, I always understood that, okay, we should always align towards the policies and agendas of the government, which really make sense to the community. And that's where always there is a long-term economic growth. So I landed, and within no time, I was able to analyze myself that I belong to one side of the party right now, which the party which I am is a Liberal Party. And their views, their agendas, their focus, and their predominantly their vision. That's what helped me a lot. And here in '99, when I've come, see, because having that background in India to go for all these campaignings and speeches and all this, I went and attended one of the immigration ministers' campaign, which happened nearby to my uni. And his name is Philip Roddock. He was a immigration minister back then. So whoever has migrated in '98 to 2000, they all know who is he. And so he gave a speech saying that it's important to have skilled migration to Australia because they bring in a lot of strong economy to the country. And we all come with some skill set where we get into the job market, we be a very good taxpayers, then we become entrepreneurs. Like, the entrepreneurship, what I've got, I learned it from it's there in the DNA. So I've learned it through that. But still, I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I've been doing that. And that speech has attracted me, where he said, skilled migration will always have opportunity to take country to the next level with the economic growth, financial management, good governance, and all that. And he said that's the reason his policy was to migrate skill migration to Australia. So I'm one of them. And he said 20 years down the line, we never know, they will also be into the public service. That's the words which echoed in me in '99 when I attended his speech back in those days. It's almost 21, 22 years now.
Very, very inspiring. Very inspiring, Sreeni. I think you have caught hold of the right person, immigration, right? Because most of our Indians will be looking in that area, and they are they wanted to be strong in that area. I think that's a good move. So Sreeni, before we get into the councillor details, I wanted to more give a brief, because this is the first time I'm doing an Australian interview. We wanted to have a high level about the geography, and then zoom into your county, and then explain us how this works, and how the council works, and then how many wards are there, and how many members will be there, and how the election has happened. Then we will come into the details about what is your strategy and all this stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, just that before I get into that, the immigration minister whom I've talked about, Mr. Philip Roddock, he is my mayor now. He's my mayor now, and I'm working directly with him after 20 years. So that is really a great achievement for me, because someone who spoke in '99 and 20 years down the line, he's my boss, who's my mayor, and I'm working with him, and it's a great honor to do that. Now, the way you asked, see, Australia has got territories and as well as states as well. Just like Indian thing, we have got 29 states and we have got territories as well, union territory as well. Similarly, we have got territories here in Australia, and then you've got states. So every state has got its own thumb of rules of council elections. That's called local government. So we call council as a local government, and then you have got a state government which runs by the state, where you have got state elections and stuff. Then you have got federal, which is at a national level. We'll do. So I come in a category of local government, wherein every state has got their defined procedures and policies how we do it. We have got 300 councillors across New South Wales. That's the state I come from. Okay. So every council, the councils, every councillor belongs to a council, and that council is called local government area. We call them as LGA here, and that comes under one shed, like similar to what we have in India as well. You have got corporators. We may call them as corporators or councillors, and then above them you have got mayors, and above the mayors you have got the state members, whoever it may be, and we call that state members as MLA there. Here we call state members as MP as well. Similarly here, for each councillor belongs to a ward, and each ward has got 3 councillors. Minimum there would be 3 councillors. So the job is distributed between 3 councillors all the way. So any ward you take it, in that ward they make them as 3 councillors, and then you have that demographic in such a way that I'll talk more about Hornsby Shire. We have got 9 councillors here and 1 mayor. That means we are divided into 3 wards. So each ward will have 3 councillors, and the council elections would be independent can contest for that, a party person can contest for that, and there will be always a proposition of whoever is delivering the best would lead the show, and we do it. In the Shire Council where I come from, our party, which is Liberal Party, has got the bigger in numbers, because the deliverables, what we commit and what we promise to the local residents, we deliver that on time and on budget. That's the reason we have that goodwill over a period of time, which has been built upward. Yeah, that's how it works.
Well, thank you for the insight, Sreeni.